While plenty of folks are packing up their shovels for the year, savvy gardeners know September is when the real magic happens. The soil still holds summer's heat for rapid germination, but the crops mature into the crisp, cool air of October and November. That temperature drop is the secret of absolute secret, unlocking Sue's best flavor. We've got a narrow window and 20 incredible crops to cover, so let's dive right in. 1. Spinach. Trying to grow spinach in the spring usually feels like a losing battle against the clock. The heat ramps up, the plant bolts, and suddenly your harvest turns incredibly bitter. Fall is a total game changer. When you drop those seeds in September, the warm dirt gets them sprouting quickly, and then they mature in cool autumn weather, exactly what spinach craves. The leaves you pull in October are exponentially sweeter and more tender than anything you struggled to grow in May. Honestly, it almost tastes like a totally different plant. If you're in zones 5 or 6, get these in the ground during the first couple of weeks of September. For zone 7 and above, you've got until the end of the month. Grab a slow, bolting type like Bloomsdale, long-standing to maximize your picking window. Just snip the outer leaves, leave the center intact, and one solid planting will keep your salad bowl full deep into November or even past December in warmer climates. 2. Lettuce. If you've ever tried nursing lettuce through the blazing summer, you know the heartbreak of bitter, bolted greens. Most of us just give up and buy grocery store clamshells until spring rolls around again. But September hands you a golden opportunity. Lettuce absolutely thrives right now, thanks to the chilly nights and mild days. What you grow this fall will be crisp, sweet, and vast superior to whatever barely survived July. Stick to loose leaf or butterhead varieties. They finish up in just 45 to 50 days, outpacing romaine, which is crucial as daylight dwindles. The biggest trap in early fall, letting the dirt dry out. Keep that seedbed evenly moist while they sprout. Keep snipping those outer leaves. Let the crown keep doing its thing, and you'll be eating fresh, garden-to-table salads in October. 3. Radishes. These are the sprinters of the fall garden, and this is true their time to shine. Spring radishes often get pushed in hot weather, resulting in those hollow, overless, spicy roots that make people think they hate radishes. Sowing them in September means they size up as the days get shorter and cooler. The texture gets unbelievably crisp while the harsh bite mellows out. You'll see sprouts in under a week and be harvesting with a month, the one surefire way to ruin them, leaving them in the dirt too long. Once they pass their prime, they turn woody in a matter of days. Write down your planting date and pull them exactly on schedule. If you sow a fresh batch every 10 days, you'll be pulling premium radishes straight through October. 4. Kale. If there's one major takeaway you get from this list, let it be this: summer kale is not real kale. Grown in the heat, it's rubbery and harsh. But once kale gets hit by a solid frost, everything changes. The plant instinctively converts its stored starches directly in sugars to survive the freezing temps. That post-frost harvest is tender, remarkably sweet, and mild, which is exactly why the autumn kale at farmers' markets flies off the tables. Toss in some lacinato or red Russian this month to set us up for that premium harvest. Pick from the bottom up, and a single plant will keep feeding you through November and well into winter for milder zones. 5. Carrots. Believe it or not, autumn carrots blow the spring crop out of the water. Just like kale, those chilly late-season nights force the roots to turn starches into sugars. Yanking a carrot out of frosty November soil yields a crunch and sweetness you literally can't buy at a supermarket. The only real hurdle right now is getting them to sprout, because carrot seeds need constant surface moisture, and early September sun bakes the topsoil fast. Here's the cheat code: water the row, lay a strip of burlap flat over the soil, and check under it daily. The second you see lit green hairs pop up, take the fabric off so they get sunlight. Go with a shorter, thicker variety like Danvers or Nantes, which push easily through typical garden soil. Plant early this month for an incredibly sweet late fall haul. 6. Broccoli. A lot of folks try growing broccoli in the spring, watch it instantly burst into loose, yellow flowers as the heat hits, and decide the plant is just too finicky. It's not difficult. It was just the wrong season. Broccoli heads that's autumn air stay tightly packed, vibrant green, and develop a phenomenal sweetness. For a September start, definitely use transplants. Their established roots can handle whatever summer heat is left while prepping to push out heads as the chill sets in. And when you chop off that main crown, leave the plant in the ground. It will keep pumping out smaller, delicious side shoots from the leaf joints for weeks. 7. Cauliflower. This is another crop that genuinely belongs in the back half of the year. Spring cauliflower races against the incoming summer heat usually give you a loose, off, white head with a sulfurous, funky taste. Grow it now, and the cooler weather helps it form those dense, mild, snowy, white heads you actually want. But there's a crucial step most backyard growers skip: blanching. Once the head hits the size of a golf ball, pull the massive outer leaves up over it and tie them shut with some string or a rubber band. This blocks the sunlight, keep it perfectly white, and stopping it from developing a bitter flavor. It takes 60 seconds and transforms the quality. Use nursery starts and aim to get them in the dirt about 60 to 80 days before your region's first frost. 8. Beets. Most gardeners plant beets, wait 2 months, the root, and call it a day. They're completely missing half the harvest. The leafy green tops are totally edible and ready to pick in just 3 days. Saute them up with a little garlic, and they taste like a rich, earthy spinach. It's incredibly fast payoff. The actual beetroots will follow roughly a month later. And thanks to that magical autumn starch, to sugar version, they'll be far sweeter than anything you grew in May. Pull them when the top shoulders are about 2 to 3 inches wide. Let them get bigger than that, and you lose the sweetness and gain a woody texture. If you want something visually stunning, grow the Chogia variety. Slicing into those candy-striped pink and white rings in late November is a showstopper. 9. Swiss chard. Chard is the ultimate low maintenance workhorse for this transitional weather. While other crops need babying or shade cloth, chard just puts its head down and grows. It shrugs off the lingering late summer heat and pushes right through the November chill. You can plant it now and harvest well in the holidays. A quick pro tip in the kitchen: the leaves and the thick stems cook at totally different speeds. Snap them apart when you harvest. Give the chopped stems a 5-minute head start in the pan before tossing the leafy greens into wilt. Pick up a packet of bright lights or rainbow chard to add a crazy pop of neon colors to your garden beds. 10. Arugula. Clocking in at just 5 to 25 days to witcheries. To maturity, you can easily sow arugula now. But the real reason to grow this in the fall isn't just speed, it's flavor. Summer arugula gets blasted by the sun and turns aggressively, almost painfully spicy. Fall arugula is a completely different beast. As the mercury drops, that intense bite mellows out into smooth, nutty, perfectly balanced pepperiness. Snip it when the leaves are just a couple of inches long for the best taste. Cut it an inch above the dirt with scissors, and it'll flush back with fresh growth in about 10 days. Do 2 plantings a couple of weeks apart, and you'll be set for the whole season. Cabbage. Spring cabbage has a nasty habit of splitting open and tasting a bit sharp thanks to the summer heat. Growing it in the fall results in a much denser, milder, and far more dependable head. If you've ever had a cabbage crack wide open on you, it's almost always due to watering swings. Letting the bed dry out and then soaking it causes the interior to swell faster than the outer leaves. Keep the moisture consistent and you'll sidestep the issue completely. Plus, a dense fall cabbage is an amazing storage crop. Keep a healthy head in a chilly garage or root cellar, and it will happily sit there for months, giving you fresh food in the dead of winter. Drop transplants in now use a variety that matures in that 6-5 to 7-5 day range. 2. Collard greens. These are hands down most resilient leafy greens you can put in your backyard. They out. Tough kale. Laugh off the cold better than chard, and handle the heat better than spinach. In Zone 7 and South, a September planting will literally feed you through the winter. And just like kale, that first frost doesn't kill them. It levels them up. The cold turns a decent October green into something profoundly sweet, savory, and rich by late November. Give them plenty of real estate, about 8 inches per plant, because they get massive. Keep harvesting the bottom leaves, and the main stalk will keep growing upward for months. If you're further north in zones 5 or 6, you still easily have a 6 to 8 week picking window before deep freeze shuts things down. Third tree, turnips. Turnips suffer from a terrible PR problem, most because folks only eat massive, overgrown, starchy ones. A turnip harvested at golf ball size in the crisp October air is a totally different experience, mild, slight sweet, and crunchy enough to slice raw into a salad. Plus, just like beets, you get turnips. Greens are to live in a month and cook up beautifully, similar to mustard greens, but with a great peppery tenderness. If you want to change your mind about this vegetable forever, track down seeds for Hakure turnips. They are smooth snow, white Japanese salad turnips that you can eat straight out of the garden like an apple. 4. Cilantro. This might be the most frustrating herb for American gardeners. You plant it in the spring, and 3 weeks later it shoots up a flower stalk and all the leaves disappear. Here's the secret nobody tells you. Cilantro actually hates warm weather. It bolts in the spring because the heat and long days trigger a panic survival response. The cool, shrinking days of September are its absolute ideal environment. Seeds pop in about a week, and the plant will stay bushy and harvestable for far longer than your spring batches ever did. Just trim what you need from the top instead of ripping out the whole plant, and sow a few new seeds every couple of weeks for a non-stop supply. Finfine, bokeh choy. If you grab seeds for baby varieties like toy choy, you look at a blazing fast 30-day turnaround. Getting them in the dirt now guarantees fresh stir, fries by October. Here's the thing. Bok choy loses its signature natural sweetness with 2 days of being harvested. The limp stuff at the grocery store doesn't even come close to doing it justice. Start them early this month in a spot that gets a lit afternoon shade, keep the dirt damp, and watch them take off as the autumn chill settles in. 6. Brussels sprouts. If you live up north in zones 5 or 6, your window for these closed back in July. But if you're in zones 7 through 9, the South, the Mid-Atlantic, the Southwest, or the West Coast, September is your prime time to plant for a late winter harvest. Growing them now means they'll size up in January and February. The flavor shift that happens when Brussels sprouts take a few hard frosts is arguably the most drastic transformation in the vegetable kingdom. A frost-kissed February sprout is incredibly nutty and sweet, miles away from those bitter, mushy frozen bags from the supermarket. Put established transplants in full sun, space them a good 2 feet apart, and keep them watered. Zentin, garlic. This is the oddball on the list because it doesn't give you a quick return. You plant it right now, and you won't pull the bulbs until next July. But September is essentially the only time to get it in the ground. The folks planting now are the ones who get to harvest giant, incredibly pungent bulbs next summer, while everyone else settles for the imported stuff at the store. It's wildly easy. Crack a bulb into individual cloves, bury them pointy side up about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart, and throw some mulch over the top. If you plant a hardneck variety, you get an amazing bonus crop. In May, it shoots up a curly green flower stalk called a scape. Snip those off and you have an intense, fresh garlic green that you simply can't buy at a normal grocery store. 8. Snap peas. Sowing peas as we head into autumn feels wrong to a lot of people who are used to planting them in freezing March mud, but fall peas are arguably even better. Just count backward about 60 to 70 days from your estimated first frost. If you usually frost in October, you need to rush these in the ground immediately. But if your frost waits until November, early September is the absolute perfect sweet spot. The warm dirt triggers rapid sprouting, and as the vine climb, they enter their favorite cool weather. The pods that fill out in the autumn air are noticeably crisper and sweeter than the ones that struggle through late spring heat. 9. Scallions. They might not be the most glamorous crop, but green onions are the absolute workhorses of the kitchen. Having a patch right out your back door to toss over eggs, salads, or soups through November is the ultimate gardening flex. They take roughly 2 months from seed to harvest. To maximize your yield, don't rip the whole thing out of the ground. Take a pair of scissors and cut the green stalks an inch above the dirt line. They'll completely regenerate in less than 2 weeks, giving you multiple harvests from a single planting. Devote a tiny 6-inch strip at the edge of a bed to these, and you'll use them constantly. 20. Mash. Also known as corn salad. This is the hidden gem that most backyard growers are totally missing out on. It is a tiny, incredibly tough salad green that thrives in weather that outright destroy lettuce and spinach. When the rest of the garden taps out in November, Ma keeps chugging along slow through December and often straight through January in milder zones. It has a fantastic, delicate, nutty flavor that mixes up the standard fall salad bowl. It's huge in Northern Europe, where they rely on it for fresh winter greens, but you usually have to hunt down seeds online here in the States. Broadcast the seeds over a patch of dirt this month. It grows in cute little rosettes, loves being planted close together, and keeps fresh food on your table long after every else is gone. 20 crops, one massive September window. The folks who get their hands dirty this week are the ones who will still be hauling baskets of fresh food in the kitchen come November and December, while everyone else is just waiting for next April. Which crop are you getting in the dirt first? Let me know down in the comments. And be sure to drop your hardiness zone too. Somebody living in your exact climate is scrolling through looking for answers right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. And I'll see you out in the garden.